Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the Carolina Panthers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Horn going to bring it out of the end zone. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's Christian McCaffrey. His pops was a Giant for 3 years. And finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. You talk about this Giant defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
And this unit knows exactly where they rank. They're number 2 against the pass in the NFL. You know they have their sights set on being number 1, looking for a big game today.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Ready, set.
From the shotgun, it's Young. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Here we go. Ready?
A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Brian Burns, the one to bring him down. The Panthers at 500, 7-7 on the year. They were winners the last time out, so they'll be looking here to make it 2 in a row.
And when you and I watched tape prepared for this one, what we saw was a team that competed hard, and they played well in all 3 phases of the game. And I think if they can carry that over to this week, they've got a really good chance to emerge victorious yet again.
They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. So the PI decline, and that'll give him a fresh set of downs.
And when you scout tight ends, one thing you want to know, just how strong they are. And we saw it in evidence there. He was able to fight through all the contact and still secure the football.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 right at the 20. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Incomplete.
Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here we set.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Giants are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
Well, the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
It's a gain of 11 and a Giant 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Dart going to give to Scannaboo. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. To throw, Dart. A quick throw there is incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and it's 3rd down. You look at this Carolina defense. Against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Dart. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10.
At their own 38-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their 2nd possession.
Yeah, one great way to judge a defense. How do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
Now Young. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
First down, here's Scannaboo. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
He'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And 3rd and 1 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try and run here with Scannaboo. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on 4th down. Here's Dart. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
Well, partner, that was a heck of a play right there, because there is no chance that he was the primary receiver on that play. Definitely checked it down to him and just said, please, help us out, make a play. And he does, and delivers a first down.
In motion right, that's Hyatt. Now they show jet sweep it instead. A run up the middle here. And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And the Giants are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Here we go. Go.
Scattaboo will take it in for the Giants touchdown. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Okay, ready?
2nd and 11 now.
Here we go. Set.
To throw, Young. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Young. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week, they're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. There's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Here's Young from the shotgun. He appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
A short game that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it.
Ground control with a soul like Bowie, and I'm chop you up.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Young. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
A gain of 15. And the Giants first down.
Looking to throw, Dart. Crossing route catch made by Johnson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Scatterman going to run it out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Dart going to look to throw here. He gets it left side of Johnson. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. On 3rd down, here's Scatterman. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Here's Dart. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
In motion goes the tight end. Now Dart. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Theo Johnson, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Giants go up by 2 touchdowns.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Next, the score, Giants 14, Panthers nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
35-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Blaster, sit. Here we go. Set. 45. Watch. Ready?
Out of the gun, it's Young. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Drill green. Hut, hut.
Young. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Throwing his dart. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. To throw now. Dart. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. To the air, Dart. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Cam Scattaboo. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Giants will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and a defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Ready?
Young working out of the gun. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
Throwing, Young. He'll get this out right here to McCaffrey. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Let's go. Ready.
Final play of the half. Young. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they've pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like the empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, a throw for Dart. Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. In motion right, that's Hyatt. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Throwing, Dart. It's complete to Robinson. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 44-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I see the surprise in the face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Here's Dart. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They'll go. Here's Dart. He's got his target. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, and now it's 1st and 10.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
But to throw once more, here's Dart. That's complete. It's Collins. And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Dart. Another one caught by Collins. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great play there. His 1st touchdown on the year. And the Giants take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 28-0.
Panthers nothing.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
Set. Ready.
Now here's Young. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. 18, Pioneer. Cup 19, Cup 19.
Throwing from the gun here, Dart. Got his man, it's Williams. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Let's go now. 70 Timberwolf. And up.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
3rd down, here's Tracy. Able to push his way through. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
They'll go again with Tracy. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 12-yard line.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy. Showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. 7 yards on the carry, make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll hand it to Tracy. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Here's Young. got his big tight end over the middle, complete. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it.
Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. Powers ahead at the 45. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. Hut, hut.
Give up the middle, Scatteroo. Pushing through the contact. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 81 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Big Derek Brown making the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. That has to drive a coach crazy.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Ready?
Young. To the left side, he's got McMillan. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47.
A gain of 6.
Right, 60.
And the Panthers first down.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. He will go out right near the 35-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it second down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up second and
Now Young.
at the 29-yard line.
He gets this one to Hubbard, complete.
Let's go. Shot.
Brings
17.
up third down.
Ready?
One last shot for Young. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. So the game will continue for at least one more play.
Cannot finish a game on a defensive penalty. That's why they get one more untimed attempt.
Set.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense is they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Giants, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Carolina, this loss really hurts their playoff chances as they drop to 7-8 with 2 games left. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week.